Welcome everyone. This is NXL 360. My name is Nadim. I'm with Coach KP. Coach was at the stadium. Coach, why are you wearing an Orlando Pirates t-shirt? Okay, yeah, I don't know. It's very clear that Coach was at the stadium as a fan. He's wearing an exclusive Orlando Pirates t-shirt. I think Bruce Ramokhaldi, maybe Steve Lokolea or Edward Motale, all those greats. Linda Puteles used to wear that jersey. So many players like John Moeti. When William Zokparovias was captaining of Orlando Pirates, then all kid. But the most important thing is that Orlando Pirates won this game. They should have won it. Of course, they did win it. One will say when you see players like Mbata coming back in the team, Mahopa coming back, he scored. Obviously, Pirates look like a better team than Kaizer Chiefs. Not like look like they were a better team than Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, I'm not sure if really they are now a team that's gonna always fight to be in the top 8. I did say Chiefs are not fighting to be in the league. There's no way Chiefs can win the league. They don't have quality players. They don't have quality coaches. I mean, they don't even have coaches for that matter. The guys who are coaching, they came here interpreting for Nabi. Chigi Chigi. Now Nabi's gone. We don't even know why he's gone. The guy who were like assisting him now, they're good enough to coach Chiefs. Madness. That just shows that those people who run Kaizer Chiefs, honestly speaking, they're destroying their own team. I mean, I know teams like Manchester United, the Glazer family, is owning Manchester, but they hire people to run for them. Same as Arsenal. Most of the European teams, the big teams you can think of, most of the big sporting organizations, they are owned by families, but they hire capable people. It's high time at Kaizer Chiefs that people like Bobby Mtaong, Kaizer Mtaong Jr., Jessica Mtaong, they step aside. They just allow people, football-minded people, where their business will be to make the team better, sign quality players, get proper coaches, then Kaizer Chiefs can be better. That's how I see it anyway. But anyways, Orlando Pirates won the game 3-0. Coach KP was at the stadium. We'll start with Kaizer Chiefs, obviously. We'll review how he saw the game. For me, nothing I saw from Kaizer Chiefs as expected. That's why I said Pirates will win 3-1. Obvious. I mean, even if you look at the head-to-head, in the last, before the derby, Pirates have won the last 4 league derbies. Now they've won 5 league derbies in a row. Out of the last 7 matches, Pirates have won 6. And you call it a derby. It's no longer a rivalry. Pirates, I mean, you can say a rivalry is between Pirates and Skukune, not Kaizer Chiefs. At least Skukune can challenge Orlando Pirates. Kaizer Chiefs can no longer have the ability to challenge Orlando Pirates. That's how I feel about it. And that's how it is. If you feel offended about it, tell your team to recruit players, because Kaizer Chiefs, they don't have players that you feel they can really restore the glory days. Coach KP, please come in, my brother. How was it the stadium? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Lukele. Yeah, I enjoyed the game. And the t-shirt, man. You know, they say if you want to be the great, you must associate with the greatest. Hence why this t-shirt. Yeah. Nadim, I think I enjoyed. I don't know when last did I enjoy the stadium the way I did. Remember when Sundowns and Pirates, it was a electrifying atmosphere. Sundowns and Chiefs, same thing. But today, you could just tell it's one of the biggest derby in the continent. So it made sense. I always say it's even an event. It's no longer just a derby, because you even have people that hardly attend the stadiums. You have them attending this Soweto derby. So I think it was a success. Well, yes, there's glitches here and there. The ticketing system, there's glitches here and there, but room for improvement. We can't crucify everyone. Safety of people, it's always my case. I think the stadium can do better. Well, not that they're trying. You can see they are trying. I mean, at the gate, you have to scan to open, but I still feel there were a whole lot of number of people. But yeah, still for another day. Hopefully, the stadium management can do it better. Let's get straight into the team, Nadim. You look at the starting lineup. Already, you start noticing Bavuma, and you ask yourself, when last did Bavuma play for Kaizer Chiefs? And then you look at it and you're like, okay, Bavuma starting the game. You know, so most of the time as fans, you don't even follow up. Why is the player not playing? You only get it later on why Peterson wasn't there. And then you say Bavuma, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they went for Bavuma because of experience, because it's been, 11 years at Chiefs. You're thinking, okay, maybe he will try and come back and reclaim his position, or he'll put his hand up. Before we even go forward with the team, Nadim, I know. You know, Nadim, I hate agreeing with you, but I'll agree with you. There are certain players that need to come from the development and leave the team. Bavuma is one of them. I don't think Bavuma will get better than any, like where he is. I don't think he will get any better. I don't want to lie. I mean, this guy's been with Abo Itumelong Kun. He's been with greatest goalkeepers at Chiefs, but he doesn't even get to be too close to what the legs of Wokune were. So I was disappointed, honestly, especially if you're given a chance, Nadim. You know, they say if you're given a chance, you need to perform so that you can be picked. I was really disappointed with the way Ubavuma did, man. I mean, you look at the first 4 minutes or 5 minutes, Pirates had three corners. On their third corner, Pirates scored a deflection. And you look at how Pirates scores, they played short to Muremi. Muremi has the whole time in the world. He receives the ball before he even takes a shot. Yes, it's a deflection, but where's the emergency in pressing? And that comes from what the goalkeeper himself to say, move up. But a deflection in the box and then it gets into the goal. Well, you can say it's a deflection, it can hit any goalkeeper. And then I think on the 4th minute or on the 6th, the fourth corner of Orlando Pirates, there's a corner, Nadim, where it goes straight to Bavuma, he misses it. Luckily, there was a defender there to clear it. So I was disappointed with Ubavuma, especially looking at the fact that he has been a Chiefs for the longest. I don't know if there's any other player who, I think he's the longest serving. I stand to be corrected in this team. It's poor to see. I'm sorry. No, I don't like speaking. We don't like speaking ill of players, but you need to improve. You need to show that you're at a big team. You've been there for years. So if people are gonna come and boss while you are there, it's a problem. And then you move into the team. I don't understand why. I don't know if the coaches are having pressure or what. I honestly don't understand why coaches love changing the back forward. For me, it doesn't make sense. It's always question mark. You see they move Aiden McCarthy to the left back. Yes, he has played there, but are they saying he's going to the back because Opaseka is not good enough, or are they saying Cross is not good enough, or are they saying they want to start Miguel because it's a big game? When last did we see Miguel play? Miguel comes back in a derby. You know, the more I speak about this back four, the more I realize that, there's issues. There's too much issues. While they bring back Miguel to team up with Ukwinika, who I think had the worst games. And I was rooting for him to say Kwinika is coming well. But yes, Nadim, the second goal. Go look at it again. Kwinika was given a ball. He was all alone. Instead of him clearing the ball into the opposition's half, he kicks it. I don't know if it's a miscue or what. It becomes a corner near his box. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's a mix-up. And then Relay passes the ball. It's a goal. So I think the back four of Kaizer Chiefs was just in sixes and sevens. For me, they were just in sixes and sevens. So Umunyani was focused more on attack. He was more onto the offensive side instead of the defensive side. But you can't really falter him. Maybe that's the way the game was planned. So that whole back four, Aiden McCarthy, Nadim, I think for me, I don't know. You know, when the team is playing bad, everybody plays bad. You know, I've been raising the boy, and I've been saying the boy is coming on. I think he had a fair game, man, for a derby, but he also, man, there were just too many things where Sibilibili was just having him. So the whole back five of Kaizer Chiefs for me was just a question. And then you move into the middle field. The middle field maestro, Umaboy, tried and tried by Candy Shopper. Oh, Gosipile Ngobo was nowhere. He was nowhere. He was losing balls. Yes, you could see he's trying to do 1, 2, 3, but he was losing the balls too many times. So it looked like there was no cohesion or too much understanding. I don't know where's Ngobo. The other Ngobo Mapoloba, number 8. Not sure if he's injured or what's happening. But yeah, that middle field Ngobo was, for me, he was lost. You look at Upule Mo Dunaidim. You know when they say the less said the better. I think that's Upule Mode. Pule, I don't understand, Nadim. Where is our smartness? Where is our brains? You are coming up against somebody who's a sort of a winger. He's a winger. He solely relies on his pace, because if you look at Sebilibili, everything that he did was to tackle. You see, so he solely relies on his pace. You are Pule Mode. You still want to take this guy for pace. What happened to being creative? What happens to dribbling? So it proves me right. That's the reason why he was subbed first half. Pule was nowhere to be found as well. Ulilepo, coming up against Hoto, we always know it's going to be a difficult one. Not many get to go past Uhoto. So as well, and then Silva. Silva for me, he's a striker. If the team is not playing towards you, then you can not have a best game. I skipped to Cheslek on purpose, Nadim. Cheslek was being raised, was being praised over the weekend after Stellenbosch. No, he looks very good. I looked at his game. I don't remember this guy receiving the ball in the number 10 position. The whole game. There's a time where I thought even Chiefs was playing double winger on Pule Modi's side. Every ball he receives is on next to Pule Modi. He receives the ball. Well, maybe he has the touches, but maybe Nadim, maybe we overpriced him on the wrong week, on the week prior to the derby, and the coaches had pressure to start him. For me, he had a flat game. For a number 10 position, for a player who will always go on the side to receive the ball on the side, it's either one, he's not comfortable receiving the ball where there's danger. Two, he cannot position himself. Three, the derby maybe swallowed him. But I love his attitude. He's a fighter. It's just that today he just came across something else. Like I said to you last time when we spoke about Sundowns and Pirates. Nadim, when there's quality on the other side, you see that the opposition quality is not much. So I think the overall game of Chiefs was nowhere to be found. But before you come in, Nadim, in Chiefs, I want to ask, teams have analysts. What are analysts there for? For me, I thought analysts are there to analyze the opposition, to see the strength of the opposition, and then check where can they head the opposition. But today it looked like only Pirates did the homework. Chiefs was nowhere. I mean, you could, with Pirates, you can almost predict the lineup. You know, if Tito is not starting, then you'll have those three. You'll have Relay, Oswin, and Moraine. But you look at where Moremi kills them. Exactly where we've been saying he's more dangerous on the left. So why don't you keep him more inside? Like, I don't understand. I feel the whole I don't want to say management, but the whole technical team of Kaizer Chiefs let Chiefs down today because one analyst didn't do their job. The player profiling that they did was wrong for this game. Why do you bring Miguel now? What are you expecting? Are you expecting Miguel to become a hero now? That was wrong. Two, I don't know. We hear Peterson was on surgery. If that's the case, then yeah, I guess they had no choice but to go for Obavuma. That one we cannot falter them. But Upule as well. Upule Modi, where was he? I always say, Nadim, I would rather have a player who's missing than a player who's not even doing anything. I don't understand. Maybe Dupreez was not put in because of the miss that he had. But if you're going up against a speedy team, you need your speed as well. Because you know Pirates is going to attack you with speed. Why don't you have offensive players that will go at them at speed? I thought that would make sense. But yeah, I think the whole technical team of Kaizer Chiefs missed it today, Nadim. And yeah, I don't know what's your take.
Yeah, no, interesting analysis, coach. Thank you so much for that. I agree with most of the things you said, obviously. For me, I think Chiefs underperformed badly. One will say the coaches, obviously, they made a lot of mistakes. Even Monyane didn't play during the week. Now he's playing. I don't know. Was he tired? For what? Tired of going where? Midrand or UJE? Because we hear also is not interested about football anymore. That's the reason also we hear he left Orlando Pirates. It's all up. It's more like he's chasing girls and all those kind of things. And again, we hear that Mdusha Walala and Fundo Vlagas didn't play because of also similar, or I don't know, something like that, disciplinary issues. Kaizer Chiefs, the coaching coach, I think there's a mistake there. Even Chislate, I mean, this was his second game for Kaizer Chiefs. You just throw him in a deep end like that in a tap. You expect what? This guy was playing in the 4th division in England for Port Vale. It's not like was playing at least in the championship, which is almost like the 2nd division, which is like a quality league, but was playing in the 4th division. Then you think in South Africa and the PSA is that week where he'll be a star. For me, I think Kaizer Chiefs, the recruitment, it's easy to say the supporters. I get shocked when I hear supporters of Kaizer Chiefs obviously praising the team. But for me, I mean, Bafuma, I agree with you. It's been there for more than 11 years, the Chiefs. At one point in time, it looked like it's promising. Even now, it's 30 years, it's still promising. I'm telling you that. 30 or 31 years, it's still promising, Bafuma. With Inajo Miguel, they trust him. I don't know why they trust him again. That's another thing in Kaizer Chiefs. There are players who they trust, but when it comes to the performance, it's below the par. Yes, it was a derby, but in terms of balance of play, it looks like a superior team compared to Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, Silver Scott, I mean, that deflection, obviously, didn't do much. Lilepo. Yeah, Pulemore, I agree with you again. For me, if Chiefs went to the derby and underperformed, obviously, they've got a lot of supporters. One would say they need to improve next season because this season is gone. Chiefs are only fighting for to be in the top 8. Coach, where do you think they will finish this season? Are you still saying they're challenging for the league title? Because did you say that, though? Or it was Kola who said that?
No, I had said mathematically they look like they are challenging, but quality-wise they are not. And today, Nadim, it was just when you say next season they need to do better, it's worse, Nadim. They need to do better now. There's a second leg that is coming. They still need to play Mamelodi Sundowns. So they need to do better now. Now, Nadim, there's no time for next season. I think they will finish in the top four. Definitely, they will be in the top four.
I'm not convinced, coach, they will finish in the top four. I think they will lose all the games against Sundowns. I think they're weak. I don't this Kaizer Chiefs team, as much as I don't want Sundowns to win the league, I want Pirates or another team to win the league. This Kaizer Chiefs team, this one cannot beat Sundowns at Loftus. Never. It's impossible. So unless maybe miraculously Brendan Peterson is recovered from the surgery, I don't know what they need to do. Cedric Katze, the interpreters, and Ben Yusuf cannot beat Sundowns at all. Coach, let's move on to Orlando Pirates. Obviously, they scored 3 goals. Congratulations to them. In the last game, obviously, they couldn't even score against an NFD team, but now it's like they redeemed themselves. What was your assessment of the Buccaneers?
Yeah, well, Nadim, before you move on to Pirates, we can't just write Chiefs off against Sundowns because, hey, mind you, the very same Sundowns that beat Pirates drew 0-0 to Chiefs at the FNB. So you'll never know. It's a game of who wants it more on the day. So, but yeah, moving on to Orlando Pirates, Nadim, you look at the starting lineup. Again, you notice a very big change on the right side. Van Rooyen back to the bench, Sevilebele coming in. And this is what I had asked last, that is it a matter of the coach has a trust instinct on Sevilebele more than Van Rooyen? But you look at how it went. I think offensively, Sevilebele gives Pirates more, especially with his speed coming from the back. And I think this is exactly what he tried doing against Sundowns. It just didn't work. So today, Sevilebele comes in as a right back on the back four. That's the only noticeable change. The last game we saw Chawatsani as well. Siema was not there, but today it's back to factory default. The back three goes back, and then the only noticeable change is Sevilebele, who hasn't been playing well. Sipho Chaine there. Well, the back four didn't have much to do, man. They didn't have much to do. There's a ball where I saw almost from where I was sitting at the stadium, and I'm glad that we looked at it after before we shot. It looked like a penalty of Udi and Hoto on Silver, but we checked it and I think maybe it wasn't a penalty. But yeah, the referee will help us on Monday. But other than that, there wasn't much that the defense had to do. I don't think 1v1 they were challenged. Sevilebele, man of the match, throughout until Modi was out. The only person who was really challenging Sevilebele, and we need to be honest, is Uvalibai. When Velibai went in, I think the 1v1s, if we are to count, you are a person of stats, so maybe you'll help us. When he went 1v1s, I think out of 5 he beat Sevilebele 4, but it was too late. Everyone was there to cover. I'm happy that this guy that I've been defending came up and played well, and he showed why he's the captain of Orlando Pirates. Bodlela had one of those games where I think was it on the 58th minute or what, where he saved a 1v1 where Udupris could have scored, but he went, kicked the ball out, saw him even being headed on his head out, getting an injury. That's a soldier. As much as we can say whatever we want about Ubodlela and Nadim, but like I said, it's games like this where you need players like Ubodlela. It's games like this where you need captains, players that have played the derby. Yes, we can.
So where you need teams like Chiefs who don't pitch up, that's why he plays well. That's what they're saying.
No, that dude.
Thank you so much. I wanted to correct that.
Yeah, so for me, I think he played well, and I still say, and I'll keep it on here. I still say, for as long as he's not injured, for as long as he can still give us the kind of game that he gave us today, let's continue with him, coach, until he's really challenged and we see that he needs to go out. Siema, well, schoolboy errors. Yes, he had errors here and there. I call them schoolboy errors because he's not punished yet. He hasn't paid the school fees yet, but he played well. Hoto, the reason why Lilepo was not there to be found is because of Hoto. So I think the whole back five of Chiefs played well. I mean, even if you look at Usipocha and Nedim, there's I think 2 or 3 balls where they came in crosses. He dropped them somehow. I don't know what was happening, but he still managed to grab them. So yeah, you will give it to them. When they do good, we need to give it. And then we go in the middle field, we pick up a noticeable change again. We see Umbata coming in with Umakaula, Namtangela being sent onto the bench. And then I ask myself this, Nadim, is it a matter of the coach is not brave enough to stick to what he believes in? Or is it a matter of the Pirates supporters know their team better? Because, I mean, if you remember beginning of the season, he did almost the similar. Supporters cried, no, we want this. He brought the players back in, they played. Today, last week, he Mbata was not there. Supporters went out to say no, Mbata win, and then he comes back in today, and then the team plays and he wins. For me, well, he had a fair game. He just had a fair game. I don't think there's anything wow that happened that I can say, yeah, Mbata played like this. But sometimes football comes up with luck. I mean, football is a game of consequences as a result. If Mbata is put in and the team wins, who are you to say no, we don't need Mbata? It would be very immature.
Actually, Coach Mbata played very well. As a result, when he left, Chiefs started creating proper chances. He was so good. He was the best midfielder for Pirates today. Just look, after he was substituted, Chiefs looked like they were now playing, pitching up. They just arrived from Naturena at FNP Stadium. But for Pirates to win the league, Mbata needs to play every game. I mean, he's the best midfielder at Orlando Pirates. No one can do what he does. For me, that's what I noticed with him. He inspires the team. Sometimes the players in that position, like Busquets, we are not going to see much what he did, but his influence, the positioning, and all those kind of things, covering space and all those kind of things, is so key. One will say, people, wow, Mara, how many times did he charge the ball? Sometimes players in that kind of position and holding midfielders, you don't see those kind of things, but just check out when he was out. Then you realize that he was instrumental.
Yeah, well, Nadim, if you're saying, well, like I said, for me, he played fairly well. Well, in terms of if you are profiling him as a player, well, I agree with you. He's one of the best midfielders we have, and for Pirates to win, you are right. We need to keep him fit, but not necessarily meaning he needs to play each and every game. Because what happens when he gets injured? Then it means the team loses points. So I'm one for the team like Pirates that has depth. We need to be able to put in players, and the team still needs to continue, you see. But yeah, he played well. I think that's the noticeable change in the middle field. We see Mbata and Umaketleni Makaula, and rightfully so, as fans were calling for Mbata, results came, so you cannot falter the fans. And then you go on to the wingers and the number 10. We see that front midfield coming in with Urile, Ozwen, and Moremi, and then Mbutuma starting the game. Nadim, I don't know. Maybe people will come and shout and say whatever. But there's one thing that I've seen, man. For as long as those boys play, all three of them, one has to be sacrificed, or one needs to sacrifice himself. We know Relay is a player. I heard someone saying, "I Relay doesn't show up in big games." That's not true. I don't think that's the matter. I think for today's game, he was a sacrifice. He was the one who was okay. The others will shine with me involved. I mean, you look at the second goal, he got the assist. Yes, it didn't shine as much as Ozwen Napolis shined, as much as Umoremi shined. And this is what happens with them. Because they all perform best when they are at their left side. And he's playing as a 10 position. He had to take the sacrifice. I mean, today I didn't see him much moving on to the left side. He was allowing both of them to interchange on that left, half 10 left position where they were interchanging. So he sacrificed himself to say, you know what, I'll play here, I'll play in this pocket. And remember, when you're playing as a 10, you don't have much time there as much as he has on the line. So that's one thing that I need to say, bigger boy. It's part of growing, Nadim. When you are understanding that I need to sacrifice myself in order for the team to win, that's great. You need to give it to him. I mean, he assisted the second goal. Brilliant. Yes, you can count few moments of Relay today. But does that mean he played bad? No. And this is what I always say. I'm thinking I'm being proven right. When all three of them are playing, one will always be a sacrifice. And it goes to show. And today, luckily, results came in. You see Moremi scoring. You see Ozwen Napoli scoring. And why would you now blame it on others? Remember what I said to you? Yes, when he was playing against Mamelodi, it looked like, he's a quantity, not quality striker that will win Pirates the league. But when he plays against other teams, he is quality. Because those teams are not on the quality of Mamelodi. And if you look at his game today, I mean, he was the combination play. There's a ball, I think it was on the 30th minute, where he did the 1-2s. He's the one who initiates the press. Mbutuma will grow, and he has developed so much better at Orlando Pirates. This boy will grow into the team. He will grow, and he will bang in goals, Nadim. And there's a move that he did. It was a long ball from Usipuchain. He moved from the left back, left center back. He won the ball on the other side, and he just headed it down. So I think he's the kind of striker that Pirates needs. He is the system striker.
Did he make any shot today?
Not that I remember of, but players around him scored.
Yeah, you can't have a striker coach who can't even make a shot on goal.
Well, I beg to differ, Nadim. I beg to differ with you, and I'll give you my reasons. One, let's start here. One, the reason why you have those three players playing very well is because Mbutuma is playing in most cases facing his own goals. So you need that. That's the Orlando Pirates system. He's facing his own goal so that everyone that is around him can benefit. Two, we had Mabasa, whom we call the sniper, who came into the Pirates team but couldn't score too many goals, not because he's a bad striker, but because the system of Orlando Pirates doesn't allow him. So for me, Mbutuma, he's a Pirates system striker. I think that's why they went all the way to get him. He covers spaces where Aworile can't cover. He covers the marking side if Rile can't do it. I saw Mahopa when he came in. It was a counter attack, yeah, on Valley by side. I saw Mahopa running all the way there, going past Rile, running all the way to just to delay the movement. So those are the kind of strikers that works for Pirates. I think it works for me. Mbutuma today, he had a fair game. Yes, there was nothing wow, like you're saying, there was no big chance, but players around him played well. And sometimes, like I said to you, Nadim, certain players needs to be sacrificed for the team to perform. And if the sacrifice works out with clap hands, I mean, at the end of the day, if or at the end of the league, if Pirates wins the league and you go back and you look at how many games did Mbutuma play, we cannot say he did not contribute because he did not score too many goals. I don't think that's true.
Okay, coach, I disagree with you on that. Mbutuma, as a striker, you must at least have 2 shots on goal. You can't have a striker who's going to play almost 70 minutes or so and not have a shot. Mahopa came in and scored. No stories. That's what you need to win the league. You don't need with the stories. You come in, you use your aerial power, you score a goal. You influence. I think it's good to see Mahopa back, obviously. I don't know why he was not playing. If he was injured, it's still good to have him back. But he needs to start ahead of Mbutuma. Pirates are playing a lot of games that are going to come. The coach was saying they've got 13 finals left. Now it's 12 finals left. It's very clear. The league now, it has swung back to Orlando Pirates' hands. They win the rest of their matches, they win the league. That's how it looks. And now they've started scoring goals and scoring goals. It looks promising. Sometimes I still believe they might drop points here and there against teams, especially away from home, because they still have a tough journey in the Champions League. For me, Orlando Pirates coach, the way I saw it, I thought it was a maximum performance from obvious chain. It didn't have to do much. Kaizer Chiefs, I mean, didn't really trouble him at all the whole game. I don't think he was troubled. And then again, a guy like Siema, it was good. I mean, we're hearing stories that he's got a knock, but to see him starting, I mean, very alertness. What I like about Siema, the ball anticipation, he did what he had to do. One would say it was not trouble, also properly challenged. Then it's Belebele. That was my criticism. Why Dino van Rooyen was not starting ahead of him? He became a man of the match. So it looks like the coach got it right there. It makes sense. It looks like he wants a player like Sibedebede who's gonna defend and also be good in terms of making the team offensively. Obviously, Dino van Rooyen is a good right back, but offensively is not as strong as Sibedebede. Then it makes sense why the coach maybe preferred him ahead of Dino. Hoto, obvious, he has to play. The whole thing of playing Daba is not gonna win Paris the league. Daba must not play going forward. Daba must not play at all because this thing of changing if the Pirates don't win the league, this mind of saying you want to win the league in South Africa and you want to rotate and rotate, you need to play the best players. That is the only way Pirates can win the league. Pirates will be leading the league now by 3 points if they beat Kukune, but the coach, he decided I want to make changes. This is a team for me. The only player that I feel it doesn't deserve to play for Pirates in the players that we play today, obviously CBC. I'm not persuaded with CBC. I feel they need to get someone else in his position. I mean, he even got a chance. He couldn't score a goal. Clear goal. He should have scored. He couldn't. Another player from Orlando Pirates was going to score, obvious. Then, but I already said it was good to have him back. I mean, he scored a goal, obvious, was offside. Overall, he played well. Let's hope the injury is not serious, obvious. Makaula, consistent. I agree with you with Fokeng. Sometimes they're not going to shine all of them on equal par, coach. That's a well spotted there. When you say one will be a police, maybe can a bit higher, a Moremi. But the positive thing for Orlando Pirates today is that all the Bafana players are starting to play well. I mean, Mahopa is playing well. I'm not convinced with Smith, obvious, for obvious reason. I don't believe he should be even a Pirates captain. Obviously, Rilem Fokengi, Moremi, Apoli Scott. Now the national team players, with the exception of Mbule, who didn't play, who didn't make the team for disciplinary reasons, because we know that he's got a disciplinary issue. From what I've heard, he's going to go through some. That's why he was not even on the bench, Sipho Mbule. From the people I talked to, they told me about discipline. I don't know if it's true or not, but it doesn't matter. I just said what I said, that he needs to focus on football. And I appreciate the opportunity Ivan Koza gave him to be a player of Orlando Pirates, the chairman, obvious. Butuma, I don't critique him. I don't believe he should be playing big games, but with small games, you saw him scoring against Marumo Galaj, he's playing against Magesi. He's always going to help Pirates. He's very quick. He's a hard worker, of which that's what the coach wants. I'm not going to say Mahopa must play every time when Butuma is there. There are games where Pirates will do better with Butuma because he can link well with the Apolis and Morem and Mfokeng. That's why he's always going to play in some of the matches. With Mahopa, obviously, it's good to see him coming back and playing and scoring a goal, of which people have been critiquing Mahopa. That's why he doesn't score. Yes, we hear he makes the others better, but if he can improve that, just like today he scored, get one of those chances he created. Tito Maswanganye, for me, today it round up why the coach didn't start him. He gets an opportunity. He doesn't do what Mahopa does. Let's have a chance of going for a fourth goal. He passed on the side. That is the reason. It's like it destroy attacks of Orlando Pirates. It's like sometimes you got the feeling where he's working against Pirates. That's the reason why Tito Maswanganye is not gonna. For me, it doesn't fit under the coach's style of play. He likes delaying one, releasing the ball. When he passes, he makes a wrong decision. While players like Mfokeng, Moremi, Apolis, Sibelebele, you can name some of them. They are very quick. Even Makaula. Makaula is very quick. That's what Kolam Lambo was saying with Makaula. He also assisted the team in terms of attacking. I feel Pirates, obviously, they need a player like him who's going to be a proper number 10. Tito Maswanganye, I don't think is one of them. He's not helping Pirates. Yes, he's been scoring and all those kind of things. The states disagree with me because even as we speak now, he's a top goal scorer for Orlando Pirates. But that's my view with him, coach. But overall, well done to Orlando Pirates. I mean, 41 points. That's very clear now, coach. People who are saying Rivero was better than this guy, now they are trying to run away from me. I did say, I don't think Rivero was going to beat this Kaizer Chiefs 3-0. I mean, I remember I watched Kaizer Chiefs beating Rivero 5 games in a row. It did. So I think Owato is the best coach. He just needs to iron things here and there and realize that Orlando Pirates is not his own team. He's an employee. So he mustn't go and test unnecessary. Play the best players for Pirates to win the league. For Pirates to win the league, they are not going to play it when you see Ndaba coming in. Ndaba coming for what? Ndaba can be given 5 minutes when Orlando Pirates are leading 3-0. For me, that's how I feel about it, coach.
I disagree with you. One, we're speaking about depth. When you speak about depth, it means you need all your quality players. You just touched on Ndaba. Ndaba is a very good player. Yes, he might not have the pace and the engine that Udion Hoto has, but he's got his own qualities. That's the kind of left back that you need. You need left back that sometimes will play left back, not left wing back, who will just mark and allow others to. So you need Undab. You move on to, there's one player that I hope, I know we agree on, is Unam Tangela. I was happy to see him coming in. I was just sad to see Umbata going off because of an injury. That's not how you want players to come off. You want a player like Umbata, like you said, he had a good game, go off. Because the coach wants to rest you. But seeing John Wiki coming in to play at this derby and having those touches, you could see the confidence is down from the boy. And I understand. I mean, he had a rough week this week because of fans. You see, you need those kind of players. You go to Umbutuma. You just spoke about Umbutuma and Mahopa. They do almost the similar. You look at how many chances did Umbutuma get today? How many crosses was there on him? I don't remember even one. Well, Mahopa gets it right on his head, goal. You'll give it to him. He had 2 touches in the opposition's half, which it's okay. It's great for.
How many crosses did Mbutuma had against Sundowns?
He had a 2. Williams had great saves. Great saves from Williams.
No, one of them, he didn't even do anything the second half. It was not even a great save, coach, because it went directly straight to Williams.
The first one, no, go look at the first one. It was a jackknife. Any goalkeeper would have been a goal. So
coach, what I was saying, Pirates are stronger with Hoto starting than Ndaba. Yes, Pirates do need Ndaba here and there. But for now to win the league, remember, the coach has been very clear that Pirates are left with finals. Yes. This season, Pirates are out of everything, out of the Champions League, out of the Nedbank Cup. They are only left with 12 matches. For them to win the league, they are stronger with Mahopa playing. That's what I'm saying, coach. I'm not saying Dava must not play. I'm saying in the stoppage time, like when Pirates is leading 3-0, let's say the referee says 6 minutes, then that's why you can have Ndaba coming in.
I still don't agree, but yeah, yes, they're stronger with Uhoto, but Ndaba is not far-fetched from Uhoto. And then you touch Tito.
So do you support benching Hoto ahead of Ndaba? Do you support that, yes or no?
Against which games? It depends what games are we playing.
Any game Pirates is playing wants to win a match. Now they want 3 points every game because that's the only way to deal with Mamelodi Sundowns. You win your game because they were supporting Chiefs. It didn't work out for the clock up. But now they must face everything. You win every game. That's it.
If you put it that way, then yes, Otto always gets a nod ahead of him, but not far-fetched. You touched on this one before we close. Of Tito. Nadim, I will never agree to anyone saying Tito is slowing the pace or Tito is doing what and Pirates is working against Pirates. I will never agree to that. That's an intelligent player. That's a smart player. And with the 12 finals that are coming up, when you are playing those 3 that started and you can't get goals, you need somebody who's going to carry that ball. I mean, Nadim, we are leading 3. Yes, we need to score and what, but you don't lose the ball. As long as you take care of the ball. And you just spoke about one thing that majority of people are not even aware.
Okay, coach, I was just saying Tito doesn't have the sense of urgency because the goals, coach, you see the league coach can be won on goals the way it is. So I've checked all the Pirates matches that are left, coach. I don't know if you have checked. Pirates are gonna play Polokwane obviously the next game. Then they go on to play Richards Bay. Then Siwelele. Then they play TS Galaxy. Then they play Golden Arrows. Richards Bay. Pirates Amazulu. Pirates are capable of winning every game. Where Sundowns are also capable of winning every game. Remember, Sundowns and Pirates are not gonna play each other now. So what can win the league is goals. So you cannot mess up even with one. You can lose the league with 1 goal, coach. I'm telling you.
No, there you are rightful. You are right. Very right. I'll always agree with you with that. But I don't see how it does not. How doesn't Tito become part of that team? So in his defense, or what I'm saying, Nadim, is for Paris to go forward, for Paris to go and win this league, you need Tito Masongai to be part of that team. Yes, he doesn't need to start all the games. Yes, he doesn't need to play all the games, but he needs to be part of that team. I think that's long and short of what I'm saying. But overall, Nadim, let's give it to Coach Wadu and his tactical team. They did the great job. They were playing with overloads. Chiefs had no answers because I saw in the first half Umrem would run to Aiden McCarthy, come inside while he's looking at Aiden McCarthy. Sibilibili is moving on the other side. Who's this? Pule mode is nowhere to be found. So Pirates, that's why I'm saying we'll give it to the tactical team. Hence why I'm questioning Chiefs side. But Chiefs, well, they tried. Second half, it was just too late. Pirates had already done the damage. So congrats to Pagania, and I think we're gonna have a very interesting title race, Nadim. Pirates back on the league with a goal difference as well. I see they've scored what goal difference is saying they've scored 22. Sundowns has scored 19. So goals. So with Sundowns playing Sekhukhune tomorrow, we wonder if we're going to see more goals or what. But I think it's going to be a very interesting race that we haven't had in so many years. And yeah, it's good to be part of this Bedway, Nadim.
Great coach. I mean, Sundowns have won their last, obvious, 4 games in the league, and then Sekhukhune have won the last 2 matches. Will they beat Sundowns? I don't think so. I think this guy loves Sundowns so much, Eric Tingshy. I mean, there was a time where he was giving us statistics that Sundowns collect 5 points every 12 points. I don't think he will allow that to see Sundowns losing the game, because if Sundowns lose or draw with Sekhukhune, then Pirates will really will go to a position where they don't need to win every game. So I will see. But I always get discouraged when I hear a coach competing for the league title, also Sekhukhune, and then you are praising Sundowns the way you praised, and then because he praised Sundowns, then Sundowns went on to beat him 2-0 at the end of the day. So I don't know. Maybe he's unhappy that Pirates released him when he was given a coaching position at Orlando Pirates. Maybe still as a grudge, want to see Pirates very well, because I've seen a trend of people who were part of Pirates. When they are away, then they say bad things about Pirates as if they're doing nothing. Then you can see the way they praise the other teams. It's like they're trying to belittle Pirates. The same team that have won 2 trophies, the same Sundowns that they love so much, are yet to win a trophy this season. Coach, as we wrap, obviously you enjoyed at the stadium. I also enjoyed watching it from home, coach, the derby. Yeah. What was your take from the match, coach, as we wrap?
Well, Nadim, yeah, as we wrap, I think my take is very simple. The tactical team of Chiefs needs to do a better job. They, especially if they want to stay there, they honestly need to do a better job. Starting from the analytics and well management, you can say that, but they tried. I think they tried to get players as much as majority are saying those are not the quality players, but yeah, I think they did. With Ukoji Wadu, I only have one question, Nadim, and he did great. Let's give him credit before I question. Pirates played well. Pirates was more fluent. I think at any given day they could have scored maybe even four. I mean, the chance that CBC missed, it could have been 4 or 5, you see. So I think he did very well. But my biggest question is, Nadim, and this is if those players were not injured, but if he is right, the players were injured, there's nothing he could do. It's a matter of do you always have to do you always need pressure from the fans in order for you to put the right team? Because look at this, it's becoming a trend. First 2 games, lose. Pirates fans come up. No, no, coach, stop doing this. Play this.
Oh, coach, I think
Yes, you see. So I wonder if he needs to do that because he just said there's 12 finals. So I hope there's no more losses. And then yeah, all the best to all the teams, man. Nadim, I'm happy to see this league going this way. I'm happy, man. It's been a while ever since we saw this. I mean, by this time we would know Sundowns is running away with it, but Pirates is back there. You see, so and I hope Usibisi gets his form, and I hope for Usibisi's sake he can lift the Bedway or Pirates can push Sundowns all the way. So I think in all, great derby, great game. Let's see what comes up, and then let's see what Sundowns does against Skukuni tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, coach. I thought you also talk about Sereno. We didn't see him coming in this kind of game, coach. What's your take on that? I have to ask you. I know I said we are rapping. Sereno, you thought he's a big game player. He didn't play.
Yeah, hey Nadim, I was surprised. I was very surprised. I thought in the second half when they took Upule Modi off and who is this Ngobo, I would see Serena because you're already 2 down. Like you have no issues. You're already a goal down. You've got nothing to lose. Yes, you might say I don't want to lose much, but you look at the coaches, they don't bring him in. I don't know if it was a matter of when they wanted to bring him in was too late or what. But I still say I know Sereno hasn't been at his best. But I would have started to Sereno ahead of Cheslake. That's just me. He has played the game. He knows. He has been part of the derby. He knows how big that game is. I would have started him, and then if he's not doing well, bring him off, and then yeah. So that's what I'm saying, Nadim. Kaizer Chiefs tactical team needs to do better.
Your last question, coach. Did Chiefs made a mistake in firing Nabi and saying the assistant must take off?
I don't think so. I don't think Chiefs made a mistake. Nabi had his time, and they are where they are because Nabi was building. So it was the right time, Nadim. It's just that maybe they didn't replace him with the right person, but I think it was just due time for Nabi to leave Chiefs.
Agree with you, coach. I think Chiefs made a mistake not replacing Nabi with the right person. I know that last season, obviously, Nabi struggled with Chiefs, was changing the lineup every game. I'm not saying Nabi should have stayed, but when you release him, get someone who is better than him to improve the team. Even when you sign players, get players who are better than what you have to improve the team. Chiefs are making a mistake with the recruitment. They are not getting players with what is better than what they have. Just like Pirates, like we said last week, they made a mistake in signing him Sendami, obviously, and Lumlung, ubani igama laMlungu? They are not better than what is there. Dijon is not better than and Msendami is not better than Apolis or Morem. How you reinforce a team, you need to get better. I mean, I've read a book of Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson. What does it call? Roy King's book, Divided We Stand. When you build a team, coach, get better than what you have. You must get that book, Divided We Stand. So you divided they stand, actually, that's the name of the title. You must get better than what they have. Kaizer Chiefs, when they recruit players, they release Kama Billet and Toli. Then they get players who are lesser than them. That's it. They release Nukovic. Then they get Ranga Chipaviro. They release a player like that, then they go low. It's like it's a trend that Kaizer Chiefs. As long Chiefs do that, they will always strive for top 8 because we know that they won. I did say people are disagreeing with me that Chiefs are winning with luck and with the referees. Now luck is running out. There's no goal. There's a reason why the last time Chiefs scored a goal was on the more than 2 goals in a match was 4th of November 2020. Fine. Those Kaizer Chiefs fans who feel offended by me, I'm sorry. I think your team needs to improve. Please direct your anger to your management, not to me. Otherwise, your last words as you wrap.
Nadim fixing. Chiefs scored 2 goals when they were playing CAF Confederation. Remember their last game?
No, I mean in the league, coach, in the league.
Okay. No, it's fine. Yeah. Well, I know, Nadim, my last closing, like I said, Chiefs tactical or technical team needs to do better. Nadim, you know, there's certain things that are obvious when you play. You need to analyze their opposition. You need to know that Morem is dangerous if he uses space. You need to understand that, like, you know, there's people that say, there's coaches that say there's cheating codes. You allow certain players to have the balls in certain positions, but today Chiefs did not show up. Sorry, Makosi. Let's watch Sundowns tomorrow night. Come back, do the same as we did. And then hence what I'm saying, we also have 12. Oh, we have 13. We also have 13 finals to preview. Let's see who will we congratulate at the end of this finals. I'm saying 13 because Sundowns is playing. So we also left with 13 to preview. Let's see, when do we say congratulations to the champions, to whomever it is. And thank you to the subscribers and the followers again. Thank you.
Indeed, coach. Thank you so much. Please consider subscribing so that we grow the channel. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday.